Yes, we are now back to this discussion again, something that so many people have brought up on Reddit and every other kind of social media you can imagine. That being the comparison between Yao Guang and Sparksy, and quite frankly, I used both of them with an E2S1 Silver Wolf level 9s, and honestly, initially when SW9's kit was released, I did say that Sparksy I thought was going to be a better unit because of the fact that the punchline generation with Sparksy is so strong and so good. And just the fact that she's able to provide quite a bit of damage for team-wide as well. And then Yao Guang I also thought was going to be pretty decent. But in terms of actual testing SW9s without one and the other, one thing really arose to me, and that revolves around the punchline generation and the aha instances. Because of the fact that when you get your ultimate off, especially let me preface this as well, I do have Yao Guang with her light cone, and that's very important because of the fact that whenever enemies enter battle again, she's able to regenerate energy, allowing more instances of her ultimate being activated, and by doing so it allows you to get more aha instances. And Silver Wolf level 9s is able to activate her elation skill, being able to generate more punchline for herself, and by doing so you get more MMR. Outside of that, I mean, obviously you have Yao Guang being very good with her skill, creating that zone, increasing everybody's elation by 20%. But honestly, the biggest impact with Yao Guang, I do have to say, is the ultimate. Not only do you get 5 punchline, that's 5 MMR right there, but you do allow the all-type res pen increase by 20% for 3 turns. Sparksy, on the other hand, does not do any of that. She is just a total raw DPS character at E0S1 for me. I'm sure other people who have their E2 Sparksy can fully say that, oh yeah, no, she's really good. And if you do have an E2 Sparksy with Silver Wolf level 9s, yeah, that's really good because of the fact that you're able to generate more punchline, you're able to get more instances of her taking action, and like I said, thus gets more punchline, gets to increase more MMR. But after using both of them, I actually it's extremely difficult because in terms of SW9's full capabilities, what she was able to do, it was very similar to, you know, with or without the other. Like with the Sparksy team, you know, I took Yao Guang off and you just put the elation MC in there, and that you can activate more elation skills with SW9. So that kind of retroactively takes away the necessity of Yao Guang. You lose out on the increase for all-type res pen, and you also lose on the, you know, elation bonus that Yao Guang is able to provide. But because that you can kind of copy and duplicate activate a elation skill, you use that essentially on SW9s, and that is going to allow her to, quite frankly, just gain more hidden MMR. She gains 50 flat out, and you get more activation with the elation MC, and then boom, that's like instantly 30 hidden MMR compared to, you know, just Yao Guang getting the 15 from her ultimate plus the 5, so that's actually 20. So technically you get more, and if you time it right and you got the right speed breakpoints, then guess what, you have another aha instance coming out right after her. But again, we're not talking about the elation MC, it's just a substitute, quite frankly. So with Yao Guang, I did notice that Silver Wolf was, again, still capable of getting into her ultimate pretty frequently. Now, the actual rate of frequency depends, honestly, just based off of playstyle, speed breakpoints, and all of that fun stuff, and whether or not you have light cones and everything. And obviously eidolons. But I didn't really notice a difference in terms of what they are able to provide outside of the MMR punchline generation. The biggest thing that I did notice while playtesting Silver Wolf without Yao Guang or without Sparksy, is that if you don't have Sparksy on the team, the how fast you go through content actually drops, which makes sense, right? Because of the fact that you are taking out another DPS character who is very capable and functional on her own, but how fast you go through content drops dramatically. Whereas having no Yao Guang, I didn't really notice that so much. Because of the fact that obviously, you have a sub DPS character, so Sparksy and Silver Wolf are very good synergistically together, because of the fact that you also have where is it? Right here. You have the top loot box functionality to generate more skill points for your team, and thus, if you have her paired up with Sparksy, guess what? That's more instances of her consuming skill points, generating more punchline. And if you've already activated your ultimate, you have Thrill to consume as well. So in terms of just the bare like my personal opinion, if you do have SW9s and you don't have Yao Guang or you don't have Sparksy, who exactly you should prioritize? Well, honestly, it's not like a clear-cut answer. Unfortunately, it's not really a cop-out saying that. It's just the truth of the matter. If you have difficulty clearing content in terms of you lack damage, then go for Sparksy, because of the synergy between these two characters is so good. I would recommend Sparksy. If you don't have that issue and you are just hyper investing into the Elation team and you don't care, like, hey, I'll just get, whatever, then honestly Yao Guang becomes more of an option, especially at E1, granting 40 a hot instance with the punchline, and the fact that your DPS character is able to ignore 20 defense. But the same argument could be had with Sparksy, is that if you get E2, well, guess what? You're essentially just running a sub fast DPS Yao Guang at that point, because of the fact you're able to get more instances off with Sparksy, you're able to get more Thrill, and by doing so allows more punchline generation. So while I do know a lot of people say Yao Guang is super good, and she is, don't get me wrong, she's extremely good, you can get away without having Yao Guang on the team, instead having Sparksy. And then you could just run Yao Guang on an Evanesia team if you do decide to go that route. But if you have just one Elation team, that's all you want to do, then yeah, all three are very good and function together. But if you could only choose one, honestly, not invested, right? Not hyper invested. If you just want to get the character in S1, which I have both of these characters at to pair up with E2 S1 Silver Wolf, I do think that it's very like it's pretty much the same thing. It's just, honestly, it comes down to who comes out first, who you like design wise. If you want to hyper invest into everybody, then I do think maybe Yao Guang is more important to get to that E2, being able to increase Silver Wolf's speed, which thus increases her elation. And then again, if you want like another DPS character, then Sparksy is very good. I'm just very impressed with how well these three characters function together. So yeah, ultimately it's up to you. If you don't want to invest in a character, I do think maybe Yao Guang slightly edges out. If you want to hyper invest, then honestly maybe Sparksy edges out. It just comes down to who reruns first, completely honest.